I've read 260 books this year, and it just so happens that the 260th book was the best. What do different people love about the books they read? Is it the emotional connectivity, an exciting roller coaster of a plot, intellectually stimulating themes and ideas, funny or just plain fun? Is it the playful prose, a strong setting, or excellently crafted characters? Does it all. And at 736 pages, this is a reading experience you can really take your time with and enjoy. It is a historical fiction set in Victorian Britain, and it is written in the style of a Victorian sensationalist coming-of-age novel, a queer page-turner reminiscent of Sarah Waters, but with a heavy slice of the Bronte sisters thrown in. It is written in a super Victorian style, although clearly with a few modern themes. Structured over 2 timelines, Lord Henry Bell is DC of a swamp-filled contested territory claimed by both England and Scotland, and only existing while there is a contest. Henry lives at house with his daughter Charlotte, who is our protagonist. Charlotte's mother died while giving birth to her, and her older brother died at about the same time. The second timeline involves Lord Henry meeting Marie, Charlotte's future mother. It is a simple trick, but I really love how uses each timeline to add tension to the other. Charlotte is 14 at the beginning of the novel and wants to be educated, something most unusual for the time. Her father is reluctant to provide her with access to the education, but agrees to hire a tutor. Henry seems to yo-yo on his opinion of Charlotte's education. A tutor, after all, is not quite the same as going to university, which is what Charlotte most wants. How and to what extent women receive an education is a major theme of the novel. It is also one of the major drivers of tension in the plot. As modern Western readers, we probably don't think that this is a controversial issue, but it is worth noting that modern groups like Boko Haram in Nigeria and the Taliban in Afghanistan have opinions much closer to those espoused by some of the characters in this novel. I love that Charlotte is challenging this system, but that she doesn't even realize it exists. She is curious, she wants to learn, and an education is a natural part of that. The idea that she would be disallowed an education based on her sex never occurs to her as a logical option. Sexism is a major theme of the novel, and I thought it was especially good that the villain of the book was a woman who was also a victim of gendered oppression herself. Sexism isn't just something men do to women, it is a system that requires some women to buy into it too. There are so many great themes in this novel. Control of women and people outside of social norms is a major one, but inheritance, the class system, progress, belonging, identity, and being in between are also themes. The last of those themes being expressed in 2 very interesting ways. Itself being contested and the representation of an intersexed character. There is some criticism that is not intersexed herself, although she is a member of and advocates for the LGBT plus community. The criticism states that she has used the intersex character as a plot device, and she certainly has, but I think that this was very well researched. You can see the attitudes of the time represented. You can also see a variety of different opinions, some positive, some negative, and some confused and having difficulty coming to terms with what intersex means. I think has been very respectful in her depiction of an intersexed character. Regardless of her personal opinion, for every issue represented in this book, has included a range of responses and opinions, representing much more than the dominant view, but rather a spectrum of different beliefs. Along with the intersexed characters, queer themes are littered throughout this book. The persecution of men who love other men, and the different way that they're treated, from imprisonment in institutions for the mentally ill, to the revulsion one character felt towards another when he realized his friend's lady friend was only a lady in costume. I particularly loved that there was a hidden, coded lesbian relationship in this novel. While there are so many LGBT themes in this novel that are clearly expressed, the coded relationship feels like a little nod to the queer authors of yesteryear. Charlotte Bell is a really interesting character name too. Courier Bell being the pen name for Charlotte Bronte. I couldn't help but see this as a reference to the elder Bronte sister playfully meshing her pen name with her actual name, which played into the theme of being in between. Brings up feelings of Wuthering Heights and the moors. I know that's Emily and not Charlotte Bronte, but the settings of both books have that muddy, beautiful northern gloom about it. There are also references to Jane Eyre littered throughout the start of this novel. Charlotte can sometimes hear voices in the night, and references are made to the fire and the cause of the fire in Jane Eyre frequently. There are so many little Easter eggs like that in this novel, and this is a kind of book that I really think that a 15-year-old can read and really enjoy, and a 75-year-old can read and really enjoy, and everybody in between. But each reader is going to take their own experience out of this. It's one of these books that you can come back to and enjoy for a completely different reason. This really is a book that does it all. And I know a lot of you will have figured it out, but for those of you who haven't, the book is Anne-Marie MacDonald's 2022 novel, Fane. I really do recommend you find yourself a copy of this wonderful reading experience. I would like to thank my wonderful Patreons for their support and my newest Patreon, Judy. If you'd like to support this channel, you can sign up too. Or if money is tight, remember it's free to like and subscribe. Happy reading. Bye-bye.